Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Breaking the Barriers. I believe we have a great show for you guys tonight. And you see, I got a couple more guests on the show. Just one new addition that I don't believe you guys have met on my platform yet. But if you haven't, please go follow her. Her name is Suni. She is pretty awesome, and her man is actually in the military. So he's fighting for our freedoms. Then we also got Anthony B. the Change Russo. Then, we got Miss Shelly down there looking gorgeous, by the way. Happy Halloween. And then we got my man Corey just facing what your name is.
What your name is and where you from, huh?
Yes. How you guys doing tonight?
Man, we're hanging in there. We're hanging in there.
Good.
Chilling.
Living the dream.
Glad to hear it. Okay, so just jump right into this, man, because we got a lot of stuff going on in the world today. A whole lot. And right when you think, because in the beginning of the year, we had police shootings, COVID, police shootings, riots, protest, looting, more COVID, Joe Biden, laptop, calm with COVID, resurge of COVID, now another police shooting, and it's going crazy. It seems that the world is going crazy. And I don't know how much you guys know about what happened in Philadelphia or what's going on out there, but it is sad. It is real sad. I watched the news clip of ABC, I believe it was, and they had the guy's family, his mother and his father, and his two children. And the two children is really what got me. They just looked sad. And then the little kid said, more racist white cops just killed my dad. And Black lives still matter. And it broke me, man. I ain't gonna lie. It got me a little emotional. I'm like, dang, because a kid don't know. He don't know no better. He just knows that his dad's gone. And it was some cops that, had to take his life because he was running at him with a knife. And I'm sure they don't see it that way because they're young. And then you see all this violence. A cop got ran over by a guy in a truck. They looted every store within the plaza, a Walmart, Five Below, Foot Locker, all types of stuff, burning stuff down. I think 12 or 24 police officers were injured.
30
police officers were injured, and all of this stuff that's going on. Before I show any of the other clips, how you guys feel about this stuff, man? We'll start with you, Sony, since you're the guest.
It's unfortunate because I feel like cops are getting a bad rep. I feel like me personally, I think I'm kind of being desensitized to all these shootings because I don't necessarily feel sympathy for the guy that was going after him with the knife. Like, I feel sympathy for his kids, his family, because they have to deal with that loss. But it's just unfortunate across the board. A life is lost at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
I'm on the fence with it.
How about you, Russo?
If it was I watched it a couple times the other night, and just the reaction, like everything going on in the scene with his mom being there and stuff. It's like, and I feel very similar to Suni. It's like, have I been desensitized? I blame 99% of it on the guy that's charging the police. I thought it was a gun at first, which to me, when he raised it up, I was like, of course they're going to shoot him. When I found out it was a knife, I go to my back of my brain and I think about Shelly. Shelly sent me a video that was raw, that was one of her friends that literally got just stabbed over and over again by a guy that got shot multiple times and kept coming. And then the biggest thing that I read out of it, and this is a direct relationship to the debates, is I saw the comments and all these people that now, because it was, mainstream, everybody watched the debates with Biden and Trump, and Biden saying, or actually this was the town halls, talking about how cops should learn how to shoot people in the leg. And I saw hundreds of these comments like, why did they just shoot for the leg? And I'm like, all right.
That's just ridiculous.
It's already made it worse. Though what Biden's rhetoric has already done more damage for people hating cops than anything Trump has said in however long. So not to spin off the topic and make it political, but it's sad. It's terrible what his kids are going through. But at the same time, to be totally honest and raw, they might be better off without him in their life.
Right.
And
That's
I mean, this wasn't a first thing. And I know Shelly's going to talk about it. Shelly knows more about the background of the guy, but I mean, this was not a dude that the first time he ever saw the cops, he decides to go with the knife. That was not his MO. So that's how I feel about it.
Go, Corey, what you think about all this, man?
Man, I feel terrible about it. I really do. I know I'm the nice guy. Sony and Merlin like to call me the nice guy, but I feel bad for the guy. I obviously feel bad for the family. At the end of the day, Cash, listen, man, that man got a mama, he got a daddy, he got kids, he got friends, he got people that love him. So I'm not gonna be the one to say, hey, that's what the idiot get. And here's why. I want to break that down. It'll take me but a second. Because I truly don't believe that he knew what he was getting himself into. I think that he's been misled by the media. He's been misled by his surroundings and all the influences that are around him that made him think that he was going to get away with that. And so I put a lot of blame on that, on the Black Lives Matter, the movements, and them justifying these things and making them seem so right. So I don't think that he really realized what he was getting himself into. I mean, we never do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we both done did shit and we think that, okay, yeah, we're going to get away with this. This dog ain't going to bite. But when the dog bite, that don't mean that I just don't. It's hard for me to take that's what he get mentality. You know what I'm saying? I think that I wish he would have got some help. Yeah.
You touched on exactly a couple of things that I was going to talk about. And Shelly, I know you have a lot of information that you want to share about this, but right now I want to keep it to just how do you feel about it when you heard about it and seen the clip that I'm about to show? How did it make you feel? I'm going to let you weigh in and just, say what you're going to say about it all in a minute, but we're going to lead up to it. How did the clip make you feel? And you're muted.
Sorry. So I think for me, watching the video, anytime a life is lost, it's hurtful. They have family, they have children. Even as a police officer, me in that situation, if I was in that situation, like I would probably need serious counseling because it is hurtful anytime a life is lost. We're going to get into do I think it's justified, etc., and based on experiences. We'll get into that after you show the video. But I feel sorry for his family.
Right, I agree. How I felt watching it. And by the way, before we get into this, you guys, if everybody watching this right now can do me the favor, because I'm being heavily censored, I'm being shadow banned on Facebook and on YouTube now. So if you haven't already, please share this video for me. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you get notified when I go live. Okay. But moving forward, what I felt when I seen it, just like Corey had touched on a little bit, I felt that the people responsible for this is first off the media, the politicians that made people feel like it's okay to be out there fighting with police or resisting arrest or protesting and not being held accountable for it. Because you remember, if we look at the example of Portland, then people were allowed to destroy their city. If you look at the example of Minneapolis, they were allowed to destroy their city. If you look at Seattle, they were allowed to destroy their cities. You know what I'm saying? CHOP or whatever it was called. All these people were allowed to just destroy their city. So in their mind, we're going to be able to loot and get away with it. And if we get arrested, they're going to let us go because that's what they've already been doing. And all they needed was the reason. And that being a black guy getting shot by a white cop. That right there, and not even just a white cop anymore, just a cop in general, and they take that as it's time to go ahead and do whatever we want to do because now we're justified because they were justified in these other cities. So the public officials that allow these things to happen should be held accountable. The media should be held accountable. And man, it's a bad situation across the board. It's a bad situation. Thank you, Robert, for that. I appreciate you. So I think someone of yourselves coming any of this weapon. Exactly right. But I'm going to show you guys this clip real quick. If you guys could mute your mics, go ahead and pull this up.
Oh, bro, they just killed them in in front of me. Yo. Yo. Y'all ain't had to give him that many shots. Y'all ain't had to give him that many shots.
Okay, that was just a little bit of the destruction that happened after that. Now, listen, everyone clear as day. You can see. I'm gonna let Shelly go next on this because I'm sure you got the information. But from my understanding, his mother called the police because he had a knife and was acting crazy. Now, people saying, why didn't they shoot him in the leg, or you didn't have to shoot him that many times? I don't know if you guys seen the video of the guy that was on PCP outside naked. And the police, like 5 police come up on this dude, and he didn't have a weapon, okay? But they tased him like 3 times. He ate the taser, went right through him, knocked out one cop, broke his eye socket, starts handling all the cops. Literally, they had to have like 12 cops come out to restrain this man without a weapon. Okay, without a weapon. He had a mental state and he was on PCP. Don't know what this guy was on, but I know he had a background of I think he stabbed his girlfriend or something. Allegedly, he stabbed his girlfriend before, and he was he wasn't the best, man, when it came to, you know, his violent past. And it's an unfortunate event that his life was taken, but at the same time, dude, what do you expect to happen when you're coming at police officers with a knife, and then you got these songs talking about how you're going to kill cops and all this other crap, man? Shelly, weigh in on it.
So, for me, after like digging into it, the police had been there 3 times just that day. So the police had been there 3 times. They had been there within the past month over 30 times. This person, what his mental state of mind is, I don't know. That's still questionable. I know they're claiming that he has some mental issues. And of course, that is something that will come out if he did have a history of mental illness. That will eventually come out. Because I've dealt with people that are just violent people that many times and don't have any type of mental history. And because they have nothing documented, they possibly could. So for me, people, I got a million questions like, would you have done the same? Why did they have their gun out? Why didn't they talk to him? Why didn't they send a psychologist? Why didn't you shoot him in the leg? So for me, again, I would have done everything the exact same. I would have done everything the exact same. They were giving him verbal command. People asked, why didn't they have a taser? One, a taser is not a use of force used when you have a deadly weapon. A knife and a gun, and there are some other items that can be a deadly weapon. You are going to meet force with force. Every police department has a use of force in which they will meet force with force. Mm-hmm. When you talk about key facts of use of force, these officers use them all. They at one point had distance, which distance gives you times, gives you more options. They were giving him verbal commands. At one point, one of the guy is like going around the car. His mom like grabs him. We know her now to be his mom. He pulls her away. There's an officer on the sidewalk. The officer on the sidewalk, this Mr. Wallace was going after him. He runs in between the cars back out onto the street. You hear him clearly. You hear them saying, drop the weapon. He comes towards them. Now what happens is when you
froze up, Shelly. She froze up. Yo, weigh in on this, Anthony.
Yeah, so I mean, kind of what Shelly was saying. You look at the way policing works, and you look at how Shelly was describing it, and you look at the fact that, and I know she'll mention this too, his extensive record, the 3 times there today, his image, like the cops probably, and I haven't heard whether they did or not. They know who he was. They knew what they were getting themselves into when they got there. And once something like that is pulled, it's not like you shoot once. Again, we've talked about this before. You empty what you have, or you do the pop, pop, pop. You do the 3 shots, and people yelling, why? They're in an area which, to me, it's mind-boggling that people don't realize that by yelling and screaming behind a cop, you're raising the level of intensity of the situation, because now a cop is not only fearing for his life from the front, from the perpetrator, he's fearing for his life for the people that could attack him afterwards, which I believe it got a little ugly right after with the brother. Yeah. Like it did not stop right there. And it's taking an already difficult situation on somebody that is exercising criminal behavior and taking it to the level where you are putting yourself in. There is no other options. Shelly's back, so I'll let her. I think she should.
Go ahead, Shelly. Yeah, you had cut out. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take you over there.
Okay. So what I was saying was, when you close that distance, when someone's coming at you with a knife, you're closing that distance, and now you're giving the officer less options. It takes seconds for someone to close that distance and attack you with the knife. I believe I sent Anthony and Cash a video once, and it was a female coworker of mine who were talking to him. They tased him. He came at him even after he was tased, and he was still able to stab her. You see it clearly in the video. So again, a taser is not an option, and I know these officers didn't even have a taser on them. I don't know if their department is like lacking the funds or what the situation is. They didn't have a taser, but it would not call for a taser situation. I would have not used the taser. I would have done the exact same thing. Tasers as well. People don't understand that they do not work. You have to have a certain distance in order for those two. There's 2 prongs that come out of that taser, and you have to have a certain distance between them in order for them to connect. And it's fall now, so people wearing baggy clothes, if it connects to your sweatpants or your shirt, it's not connecting to your muscles, so it's not going to work, which is going to give you less time to respond with a gun when he's charging in towards you. As far as the shots fired, how many were fired, and people questioning how many are fired, I have to say again, like, you guys have all saw that tape, like, what, a couple times maybe?
Yeah.
Let me ask each one of you, how many shots did you hear?
I would say, 14 maybe?
I was going to say 10.
Yeah, I heard around 9 or 10.
Just face it, you're muted.
Oh, I was saying, I thought I heard about 20. I must be tripping.
So that's kind of what brings me to this point, is that we are all going to hear very different things. So imagine the officer in that situation with his adrenaline here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to know. People say, oh, well, the officer lied on the initial report. He said this many. Guess what? If you ask me if I'm in a shooting, how many times I shot my gun, I am going to not be able to tell you, because I do not know. And the best way that I can describe it is, like if you were in a car accident where your adrenaline's going to shoot up, you're going to stiffen up. If you have a single action only weapon, which a lot of police departments have single action only, you're going to hold on to that trigger, and those bullets are just going to fly in that direction. So a lot of times they won't even know. Like, it's just something happens, and they're not trained to shoot in the leg. We're not trained to shoot the gun out of their hand. That's like sniper level stuff. And we don't get the training that we probably should be having now. You get basic training, 6 months of training. So to shoot a gun out of somebody's hand, do you know how much skill that takes?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, look at the Jacob Blake case. There were 7 shots fired at point blank range, and they only struck him 4 times.
Right.
So imagine trying to shoot something smaller. That's why we're trained to shoot in the torso, to eliminate the delivery system so they cannot hurt you. You want to eliminate the threat. You don't shoot to kill. You don't shoot for small limbs, because if you aim small, you're going to miss big. If you aim big, you're going to miss small.
Come on, man. Shoot for the leg. Why can't they shoot for the leg? Come on.
I'm like, there was
Horse-faced pony soldier.
For him.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, y'all. Straight up, it's a whole messed up situation. What
Cindy
about
had
you?
a great point down there. She said a year ago this wouldn't be covered, and one side will say, "But it should have been," and then we're saying it shouldn't. This is stoking fires, stoking hate, because a lot of people don't understand policing. They don't understand what it takes to be out there every day, and they're just assuming that the police are in the wrong because they killed somebody because we've now just been sunken into our head that this is a police issue and not a human issue of people breaking the law.
Yeah.
Shouldn't
I
be
got
covered.
another.
It
Go
shouldn't
ahead,
be.
Suni, weigh in on that, Suni. I got another clip. I want to show you guys the aftermath, and you guys, I want you to talk about it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play this, and I want you guys to talk about all of it, the whole thing. Suni, I want to hear your points on all of this, and Robert, thank you, appreciate you, brother. But I'm gonna pull this up real quick. 1 second. It's insane to see this, you guys. It's nuts to me. I can't understand it. All right.
Single action, Shelly, real quick. Here's a real quick question before you show it. Shelly, what's single action?
So single action, you only have to pull your trigger once, and then it's the trigger pull, where you only pull once, and then the rest it's like a half pull. Whereas double action is like you have to pull that trigger back each time. So remember, when they're teaching you about shooting, time and distance. Timing is everything.
Sorry, thanks.
Check this out, and you guys go ahead and discuss it. I'll be right back. Check this out. There's no sound on it, so you guys can go ahead and talk.
Okay.
Can we make our own sound?
I talked about this earlier.
Come on, grab that bag. Hey, you grabbed it. No, you grabbed it.
It's just
it's
there's
almost
no excuse for it.
It's almost funny, but it's not funny. You know what I'm saying? Because you got these people doing all this crazy stuff, and then are you claiming that you're doing it because of what happened, or are you taking an opportunity to just steal? You know what I'm saying? And this is where we at now, man. And it's gonna get it if we're not careful. How we handle things is gonna get worse and worse.
The new hot ride in the hood right now is minivans. Anybody that has a minivan can fit the most stuff that they can get off of these rides.
Look at all the minivans. I didn't notice that.
Look at all the minivans.
That's crazy, man. That is crazy.
These guys, these people are just opportunists. Like, let me get some free shit.
It's embarrassing, man. It's terrible.
How does that bring justice to the Wallace family? Did you guys see that was a video of his dad. Did you see his dad telling people, like, you guys ain't doing this shit for us?
But you know, the good thing about it, it's a good thing that come out of this, is that now we really get to see what's going on before it get worse. Just look at that.
And I really think, because there's body cams, this is my opinion. I think they're not going to release those body cams till after the election.
I'll be right back, fellas.
I really think they're not going to release them until after the election, because they want this type of shit to continue so that they could point finger at Trump. Look at the divide.
Very good point. Very good point. You know, the president of the FOP out there in Philadelphia, he said, why don't you guys please just release the information that you have, release the body cam, release the report, and let everybody know what it is, because this is pretty cut and dry. And it really is. You know, when you run at a police officer with a knife or with a gun or with a screwdriver, anything that can cause bodily harm, anything you're using as a weapon, they have the right to neutralize you.
Yep.
And that's the messed up, man. That's the messed up part about it, is these people that are doing these things right here, they probably don't even know what happened. They just heard that we're going to go loot, and they went and loot. That's what they did. It's insane. Look at the cops trying to come up right now. They're trying to get some kind of control. People start running. Look at that dude almost hit the cop. These people pulling out of the driveway, almost hitting each other. You know what I'm saying?
Well, did you see there was the female sergeant that was run over? She's the only one left in the hospital. She has a broken leg, and I guess they're just keeping her for observation to make sure everything else is okay. So I'm like, so what happened to Me Too movement? Where the fuck are they? I guess she don't matter. I don't know.
It's messed up. This is just messed up. Look at that.
Terrible.
And these cops go out there. There's 3 cops, 3, with a multitude of people there. Now, what if them people realize, okay, it's only 3 of them and it's a whole bunch of us. Let's go ahead and get them.
Yeah.
These cops risking their lives to go out here to a store that these people are looting out of, just taking everything possible that you could think of. Mostly it's TVs, as you can see. It's all TVs, you know, and look at this, man.
You know what else they don't think about is who's working inside the Walmart that's being terrorized right now.
Right.
So depending on the neighborhood, it could be predominantly African-American working at the store. So you're essentially terrorizing your own people in this instance. And no matter if they're black or white, I really don't care. You're terrorizing human beings that are probably making $8 an hour, whatever the heck they make at Walmart, on top of the cops risking their lives. You're putting these people, like, what do they do? Like, stand aside? Like, it's just, it has to be traumatic for most of the people working inside. Like, it's not just about TVs, and it's not just about the
the saddest part? You know the saddest part about it all is, again, they're doing this in their own community, which, like you just said, Russo, you don't know who's working there. It's mostly people from the community that work inside that Walmart, guaranteed. And that Walmart is not coming back. It is not going to come back. That Walmart is going to be done. They're going to take everything out of that store, and they're not going to put another Walmart in there. So then where are people going to work? Where are you going to go get what if that's the only food place that they can go and get their food, or the only place they can go and get their clothes? You know what I'm saying? And people aren't thinking about that. What about if they got to pay a bill? What if that's one of the only places they can go to pay their bill?
That's true.
They don't think about any of these things. They looted the pharmacy. So what about the elderly people that need their medication? What about the grandmas and grandpas that need their medication? What about the little boy that got diabetes that needs his insulin?
Baby food.
You know what I'm saying?
We still have a Walmart. It's literally like 5 minutes from me that has still not opened, and that's from the beginning of June riots in Chicago.
Really?
It's still shut. It's still shut down.
Wow.
It has not reopened. So everybody has to go to they have to veer out. And that Walmart, the center of that Walmart is Black and Hispanic.
You know, this is sad. It's a real sad affair, man. And where is the leaders of this city? Where are the leaders coming out and saying, look, we're not having this here? And I'm just wondering, is Philadelphia Democratic?
I believe it is.
Yes.
Once again.
I do believe they called in the National Guard, and I do believe last I heard a couple hours ago that they did ask for help, which usually they weren't asking for help prior, because I think they wanted this type of shit to happen. So
true, but when did they ask? Did they ask just today, or did they ask after they?
Just today, I believe. Today,
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, but that at least that's a good thing, because we moving in the right direction now. Because before they was denying help, and now they're actually saying, okay, we need help before this thing get out of hand.
True, man, but we need them to respond faster
immediately,
because look at the officers that got injured in all of this. What about even the civilians that got injured in this? I heard a guy got hit in the parking lot. A guy speeding out, and a regular person, a civilian, got hit by the car that was leaving out of the freaking the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? So we need first responders. I'm sorry, not first responders. We need our public officials to respond faster, as if they were first responders. They need to respond first. They know. We've seen the trend. When something like this happens, civil unrest, the first night that they seen people out in them streets, thousands of people, they should have been on that phone. Hey, we need help. You know what I'm saying? That's what should have happened.
Not even so much that we need help. How about stop telling the police to stand down?
All day, Christy.
How about set the police up like you do when you have NATO events? NATO is like the largest thing ever. And in Chicago, we were able to maintain them and keep them in a certain perimeter with minimal injuries to officers and minimal arrest. If you can lock down NATO because you know what you need to do for it, you can control all this shit before you even have to call in the National Guard. But in these Democrat cities, they are allowing this bullshit to happen for whatever their agenda is, to be honest. Because I know in Chicago, that's not happening here, but this weekend they canceled everybody's days off already. Yeah. So everybody's been canceled from November, starting Friday until like November 9th or some shit. No days off.
This is just it's messed up. And it don't stop. Look at this. Even with the cops there, even with a police presence, they're all still coming and running in. That store's probably got nothing left. It's probably like a skeleton of a store.
I don't know if you've seen how much is in Walmart. They still have some left, trust me.
I think that's when you send in the fire trucks with the police department and you hold them all down.
Oh, Matt Sammy just said your original quote, curfew, let's go. They're going to martial law your ass, right, Craig?
I'm trying to tell you.
They're not even scared of the police no more.
I'm trying to tell you.
Officers, and you got like 50 people around them.
Look at that,
man. Yeah, we both like, look at that, man.
You get the fire trucks to block off those entrances and exits, and then you give them a warning. They leave. They don't. Hold their ass down.
Yeah, what part of Philly is this? Do we know?
No, I don't know.
Hold on, I'll tell you right now.
I just get a notification from BuzzFeed.
Look at, watch. Almost a car accident. Look at, almost hits this guy.
Yeah.
It's got a notification for BuzzFeed, and all I see is the headline: Trump is continuing to stoke fears of Black Americans moving to the suburbs to scare white people. Are you serious?
What?
You're serious? The articles they put out, if people don't think, when people say that they're using scare tactics with Trump talking about a communist country, if that's the scare tactics they're talking about, they need to actually take a deep look inside about the scare tactics they are using for the general American public. It's insane.
You know what's going to end up happening, man. I'm telling you, and I've said it before, you guys. If it's not going to be martial law, it's going to be something similar to it, because these kind of things cannot keep on happening, and it's gonna trickle down, and you're gonna see what it look like a civil war type thing, but it won't be a civil war. It'll be a mass cleanup of bad people.
Yeah,
that's what it's gonna end up being, because people like me and people like everybody that's on here right now on this panel, we ain't gonna be out there. The people that want to be bold enough to be out there and doing these kind of things, man, it's going to end up bad for you. I'm trying to tell you. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see, our people, our fellow Americans, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to see you guys out here being hurt because, you're upset, or you say everybody out there really is upset, and they're really feeling like something's happened in this country to where we don't have the same rights, or that we really do get treated differently. Let's say that is the case. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but the way that you go about it, the way that the going out into stores and setting things on fire and ganging up on the police that had nothing to do with that event that you're upset about, that's not the right way to do things, and it's gonna end up hurting you. Especially, look, if you got children, you got to think about all of these things. If you got children, or little brothers, or little sisters, or a grandmother, or whatever. Think about all of that, because this country this is one of the most beautiful places on earth. You're only seeing the bad put forth by the media, and it's a very small percent. It is a very, very small percent of bad, but they make it seem like there's just so much bad going on in this country, and that's not the case. There's so much more good going on. There's so much more happening around the country that is it's a beautiful thing. And you guys are you're ruining the country. And when I say you guys, I mean the people that are out there looting. I mean the activists that encourage it. I mean the media that displays it without showing the beautiful part of the country, the beautiful things that happen in this country. You guys are the ones that's going to ruin it. And you're going to ruin it for yourselves, because the good ain't going to be punished for it, man. We won't be punished. We might have a curfew because of y'all, but once they get you guys out the way, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know who won't be? Your children, because they'll be missing you because you're dead or in jail. Your mother, she'll be missing you because you're dead in jail. Your grandfather or grandmother that needs medicine, that can't get it because you looted the store, burnt it down. The single mother who can't go back to her job because you guys destroyed it. Think. We have to do better. If you really feel bad, if you really feel that you're treated unfairly, then we go about this the right way. And people like us, everybody here on this panel, will fight for you and with you the right way for true injustice. But people aren't going to raise up, just like the boy that cried wolf. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to rise up and try to fight for something that's not worth fighting for. This cause that caused you guys to get out there and do the things that you just did in Philadelphia, it's unjust what you're doing. The action that caused it is not unjust. That man that got shot, unfortunately, brought it upon himself by being ignorant to the law. So learn the law. You cannot raise a weapon to a police officer when your mama called the police on you, first off, and then you got a history. You cannot do that and expect to be okay afterward. You should have just dropped the knife. And I hate that you lost your life, man. I do. I wish that it would have got handled differently. I feel for you and I feel for your kids. You broke my heart. But man, sorry guys, go ahead. I know I just started going on.
I'm good. I'm good to move on.
Well,
let's do it. Robert Lewis said, all begins and ends with respect, compassion for ourselves and others. That is the absolute truth. The absolute truth. Straight up. And if this man really did have a mental illness, let me just say, he should not have been able to be out on the street. He should have gotten the proper help. If it's true that what he allegedly did with his girlfriend, with the whole, cutting her or whatever, that right there, that man should have been put into a hospital. He shouldn't have been on the street. Having his mother and father traumatized and the people in the community traumatized at seeing him shot down by police officers. And no one's seeing the fact that he was running at them with a knife. They're just saying, because of the news, another black man slain by the police. And it's unfortunate.
I was going to say, had that been somebody and I was there, especially somebody that I knew and that I loved, then I would have tackled them first or tried to do something to prevent that. Because listen, you know what's going to happen. So if he had a mental problem, why didn't nobody that was there step in and try to help the guy and get him to the ground or something? I mean, that's what I would have did. I mean, even if I'd have stood a chance of getting cut or something, if I love you, man, I'm going to take a chance of getting cut. Now, I'm not finna jump in for no bullet for you, but I will, try to grab you from behind and get you down or just try to calm the situation. It's sad, man. It's sad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that would have been able to work, though, because his mother was there. She couldn't get him to drop the knife. Your mama can't get you to drop a knife while she pleading with you to the point where she got to call the police. Then ain't nobody else gonna be able to do it. He would have hurt you. He would have hurt somebody else.
Yeah, that's
crazy. He already got somebody before. You know what I'm
saying? There is a thing called suicide by cop. I don't think a lot of people factor that in. Something is going on if you're going to attack a police officer with a knife. You might not want to be alive anymore. He had a mental illness. His family said he was bipolar. This is not the first time that they've been out there. He's got a lengthy, I don't like talking about it, but it's relevant. He's got a lengthy rap sheet. This could have been suicide by cop. It's a real thing.
I think that when we talk about, like, we were talking about being desensitized. For myself, being a police officer, just growing up where I grew up, I've been desensitized to a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things in my own family. I've had family that have been gunned down in the streets. The last one was just a few years ago. So for me, being an officer, I think my heart goes out to his family because any loss is still a loss. But then I have to, when I try to look at it and I'm trying to be the devil's advocate here, and you think about it, like, who put you in that situation? And I know it sounds like a really shitty thing to say, but I'm going to say it because there's tons of people who think about it, right? You put yourself, if you do not care about your mother, your father, your children, then what makes you think that anyone else is going to care about them?
Right.
And again, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just calling a spade a spade.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not going to do anything to take myself away from my children. And I know when we're dealing with mental illness, that's a very different dynamic. But again, there's no psychologist, social worker that I know that is going to respond to that until the police have that under control. I had a conversation with my daughter today. She's a psychologist. And I had told her I wanted her to do a live with me because people were like, oh, but I'm a psychologist, or, social workers this, social workers that. And my daughter's like, yeah, I'm not doing that shit. Until the police tell me it's safe for me to go in there and talk to them, I'm not going in there and talking to them.
Exactly. No, I get it. Unfortunate situation. I think we all can agree on that. And my heart goes out to that man's family, to his children. Man, it's sad. My heart goes out to you guys, and I'm praying for you and your family for healing, and I'm praying for Philadelphia. I think we should move forward, though, and talk about something positive. And you guys just told me about this. I didn't even know about this until today because I kind of been like on a hiatus. But President Trump actually has initiated the American Dream Plan, or the Latino Platinum Plan, basically. All right. I'm gonna play the clip.
Around the country today, I'm announcing the American Dream Plan. Over the next 4 years, the American Dream Plan will bring more than 2 million new jobs to Hispanic communities, create over 500,000 new Hispanic-owned small businesses, which will end up being large businesses if I know you, and I know you well. Great business people, great natural business people. Expand opportunities for federal contracting. It's going to be much easier for you to get some of those jobs, and increase access to capital by hundreds of billions of dollars. You're going to be in great shape. You're going to say, I liked him very much. Now, if Sleepy Joe gets in, they're going to ask him about it. He's not going to have a clue. He's not going to be able to tell you this. More Hispanic Americans will be able to buy a home, to afford quality health insurance, and to raise their families in a beautiful, safe neighborhood. And I will provide school choice to every parent in America. School choice.
Okay, that's very important. All of what he just said is really dope and very important. What he said about school choice, which we're going to be talking about here in the next day or so. I wanted to talk about school choice and child safety in school. That's his topic for another time. But dude, this man got the Platinum Plan. Now he got the Dream Plan. I don't know what the next plan is going to be, but I'm sure that it's going to be amazing, just like those. And it's funny because you notice that they say that Trump's racist. They say that he's a bigot. They say that he hates black people. They say that he hates Latin people, right? Why would that man go out of his way to make a plan just for them? Well, us. Why?
I want to play a little devil's advocate because this is what I get, and people are like, "Well, you look at the Platinum Plan, you look at the new plan, the American Dream Plan." Some people will call that pandering because it's close to the election. Is he really going to do it? And how do you answer that question for them?
I say, hell yeah, he's going to do it because he hasn't lied once yet. Everything he said he was going to do, he has done.
Exactly.
He has done it. So if he doesn't do it, then okay, you got me. But I believe he's going to do it. He hasn't lied not one time to the American people about what he plans to do. So, I mean, they could call it pandering. I call it getting things done, because these are things that people were upset about. You look at minorities. We say, look, reparations, right? Well, I don't agree with reparations, and I don't think any intelligent person agrees with reparations. But he's like, you know what? Let's do this. That way, the people that want to work, the people that want to start a business, that want to be successful, we can allow them to do that and help them to be able to do that with the Platinum Plan. Then, with the people that want to work, Platinum Plan, 3 million new jobs. Then you look at the Latino community. He says, okay, well, they think I don't like Mexicans, and they think that I'm racist towards Puerto Ricans, or whatever you want to have it. Let me do this plan for them. 2 million jobs. We're going to increase your guys' access to capital. We're going to create new Latin businesses. That right there, to me, man, that's getting results. That's what that is to me. If he says he's going to do it, I stand there. He has built up his credibility. So I won't knock him and say that I don't think he's going to do it or that it's pandering, because, like I said, the man has kept his word. You know what I'm saying?
More importantly, what other politician has ever offered either one of these communities that opportunity?
Exactly.
I don't understand, and it's coming from a lot of people on, in the Black community. Well, why now? It's ungrateful, first of all, because nobody else offered you this opportunity. So how about you just say thank you and shut up?
Right. That's simple. And
I agree.
And then they worried about, they saying that, well, he only doing it because it's close to the election. He only doing it because of this. He only doing it because of that. So here's my answer. Okay, Russo, you want to donate $1 million to me because you're going to get a wonderful tax break, and that's what you need to do, right? So do you think I'm going to say I don't want it just because you only doing it because you get the tax break? I don't give a damn why you doing it. If I can take the $1 million and be productive like I claim I can, then I need to take the money, do what I need to do with it, build me a legacy for me and my family, and shut up. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple, because ain't nobody else gonna hand me that kind of money. So that's just the bottom line, man. We need to get away from all that, why somebody doing it and making excuses. Like I said in the show before, I believe that, and this is tough what I'm about to say, but I believe that subconsciously that a certain group of people, which is the Black people, I'm just going to say it, we don't want nothing. We really want to be stuck in a position where we can complain and talk trash, and that makes us feel good, and we don't want to come out of it. And it's a sad place to be.
And I would think my answer to that, like when people say, "Oh, it's just pandering," because people are going to say it, right? We're right around the election. Well, first of all, Trump has been in office a little less than 4 years. Let's talk about where he started when he got presidency. So you can't just turn shit over overnight. He's not a magician. So how many promises has he kept? How many promises made? How many promises kept? All of them. So going forward, what gives me faith that he's going to do it is everything he's already done up to this point, period. And I think that people are, and I think for Latino community or people Latino, we are stuck. The ones who are going to say the pandering and all that shit is because you just been literally fed by the media and your old family traditions, and you're not willing to research for yourself. That's the goddamn truth.
All day. I agree. Sonia, what you think? You think he's going to do it, or you think he's just pandering?
Nah, Trump doesn't pander.
Thank you.
Trump is the first Black president. I'm just gonna say it. I don't care.
You Black.
I don't care. Seriously though, promises made, promises kept. He hasn't lied about anything he said he was going to do. I think people just need to, like I said before, just shut up. If you don't want this opportunity, then don't take it. But let everybody else who wants to come up and do something productive have this opportunity. It's like crabs in a barrel.
I agree.
Nobody can get out.
I'm voting Trump 2020. I'm ready. Straight up, I'm ready for 2021 to be here. I'm ready for this year to be over, and I'm ready to see what's going to happen with the next 4 years of Trump. And I really, truly believe that this country is going to be very, very, very great. We're going to be so much more well off than we are right now. Mark my words. COVID's going to go away. Country's going to open back up. A couple people might go to jail. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
the swamp will be completely drained.
So you don't think we're going to have a civil war? You don't think a civil war is going to pop up?
No, because let me tell you something. After this election, Trump doesn't have anything else to worry about. You don't have to worry about getting votes. So they try to pull the bullshit that they're pulling right now. After the election, when he wins, he's going to put the smack down on him. Yeah. Straight up.
I think so too, because he has nothing to lose after that.
Yeah, the Insurrection Act is coming out.
It's going to be a lot of blood in the streets, I'm telling you now.
I don't think it's going to. Yeah, I think it's going to be a little rough before it gets better. But I've been saying this forever. The reason why before Cash and I really started going harder for Trump, the first thing I told him, I said, I want to see what he can do. This is before Cash even took a political stand. I said, I want to see what he can do when he doesn't have to worry about re-election. That's what I want to see. I want to see what he, like, honestly, if this, which we know is election based, but if this kind of social unrest happened 3 months after the election, he would do everything in his power to shut it down. He can't do it now because he'll be called a tyrant. He'll lose the election, but for saving the country, he will lose the election. That's just the way the voter mind works. That's the way that he would be portrayed in the media, that he is an authoritarian. Thank you. Hello. They would say that that's what they would say, and he would lose the election because he was actually doing the right thing for the country. Now, when we get to the next month, we're good to go. You know what I mean? Or once we get back, he can do everything he wants to do.
Yeah, I agree. I for one, I can't wait. I've been excited. I'm like tired of seeing knuckleheads in the streets. Tired of seeing people tear stuff up, burn stuff, because it does affect everyone else around you. There's trying to make America like a desolate country where there's not shit functioning here. So I can't wait.
Do it. No, they want us to be New Venezuela. That's what they want.
Yeah, they want to.
We're not going for it.
Do you know where we can go back to where we took pride in our country?
9/11.
Go to a Trump rally. I figure this is a good time to throw this in. I know some of you guys saw that I went to the Trump rally in Lansing, Michigan. It is a different breed of people, not because they're deplorable, but because they're happy.
Yep. United.
I have not seen a united American front of all races, all ages, all the demographics across the board. Women for Trump signs, Latinos for Trump signs. You had the black conservative voices were there. You had a mile-long line in 37-degree weather with freezing rain coming down, and it was, I'm not exaggerating, it was a mile. People at the front, when I talked to them, they were, right before it was supposed to start, had been waiting in line for 3 hours to get in to see this man speak. And there was probably 15 to 20,000 people there total, is my guess. That night, he went straight to Omaha, Nebraska, and he did 30,000 as the confirmed number out there. And somehow he's losing in these quote unquote polls, but it's not even about that. It's literally the feeling I got when he got off of Air Force One and being around that many happy people speaking to each other, like understanding COVID, but also at the same time going, we have to enjoy our lives. We have to live our lives. And this man is imperfect, but we love him for his imperfections, and he actually cares about the American public. Do I know if he's good to the guy next door? I don't know. But what he's doing for the country is bringing, if they say that he is drawing us apart, it's the choice of the people that are so against him that are choosing to see his message as divisive. It's not. And there's the last thing I'll say, there was a post of a friend of mine talking about sharing this news article. I swear a journalist should have to go through a whole new school right now. But there's an article talking about, if you have friends that are voting for Trump, they're not good people. You're a good person, they're a bad person. And they shared this article, and I'm like, you realize that you're saying, people like me, that we've been good friends forever, you are saying that you are better than me. And then I started, you know what, forget about me. And I looked at the 80-year-old women. I looked at the 85-year-old woman. I looked at the elderly black man that was there standing in line to see the president of the United States speak, that is probably voting for Donald Trump because he's there. You're telling me that this 35-year-old white woman that thinks that her liberal ideology is better than, not saying that it's worse than, I'm saying the fact that she is choosing to say she is better than these people. I'm like, would you be able to look at that 85-year-old man in the face? Would you be able to look at that elderly woman in the face and go, just so you know, because of the way you're voting, I'm good and you're bad? Are you kidding? Come on, man.
Come on, man. Well, check it out, guys. We're going to be wrapping up right now, so I'm going to give everybody about 30 seconds. If you could, go ahead and talk to the people 30 seconds, tell them where they can follow you at, or whatever message that you would like to give them. Shelly, you got a question right here. Shelly, do you think more police will quit, retire if Biden is elected? I think you're muted.
Sorry, I was muted. I think that more coppers they're already leaving now, especially in Democratic ran cities. Chicago police has like a mass exodus of police officers. If Biden wins, people that have time, they'll leave. They're not going to deal with the defunding the police stuff. I would leave myself. I've been on almost 24 years. If he gets elected, I would retire.
Okay. All right, Shelly, go ahead. Give him your 30 seconds, whatever you want to say to him. Go.
I want to say Trump 2020. Leave it in God's hands. You don't have to be nasty to each other if you disagree. It's okay. You guys can find me if you like makeup tutorials. You can find me on Facebook at Let's Glow.
All right, all right. Love you, Shelly. Thank you for being on.
I love you too.
Just face it. Go right ahead, brother. Give it to him. 30 seconds.
All right, man. Trump 2020, just like Shelly said. And I just think that we all got to be calm, but we all have to be active, and we got to make a move. And don't be scared to stand for what you stand for. Period, point blank. That's it. That's all. If we all stand for what's right, we know what we should do. Go vote for Trump. We want a better country. We want better lives for not just us, but for our kids and everybody else. That's about it, man. That's about it.
All right, my brother. I appreciate you being on. I love you, and I'll get you on the next one, all right?
Much love, my man.
Bet him up. Sunni, go right ahead. Give him 30 seconds. Talk to him.
Listen, go out and vote November 3rd. Don't be scared. Take your ass to the polls. That's what they bet on. They bet on us being scared. They bet on us being afraid. But we're patriots. This is the biggest time of the year for us every 4 years. Get out and go vote. If you want to come find me, you can find me on YouTube under Hot Mic. Just put Sunni at the end because there's a lot of people on there. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's at The Real Hot Mic. I appreciate the opportunity to come on. I hope we get to do this again. This is fun.
You're a permanent member now. Don't trip. I got you. All right,
Thank you,
bro, I
man.
appreciate you, and we're going to wrap, all right? Rousseau, give it to him, man.
First off, I love you. Just so
I love
you
you
know.
too, brother.
We've had some interesting last couple weeks personally, and it's like the devil's trying to hold us down around election time. We got to get our voices out there. So
All day.
first off, nothing but love to you. Sunni, I know you're probably backstage. We are going to be doing a Truth Will Set You Free this week. I've been doing other shows, but I want to get you on there as well. I know a lot of my group have said, you got to get Sunni on. I'm like, I got to actually talk to her first. Discounts. To end it though, ultimately, I can't explain the feeling that I had. Like I almost was tearing up just walking through the line of patriots. And it's not even that. It's just, I miss being able to take pride in our country. And I said something where I said, it's to think that we're a perfect country is wrong. Like we were imperfect, but to completely ignore the progress we've made is just going to set us back to before the progress began. And it's amazing to see a group of people there. And I couldn't have had more pride in the country. I couldn't have more pride in myself and where we've come. Cause you're getting to a point where we're bogged down by the shit we see every day. And it was an honor to be a part of it. I'm glad I got to see it. If anybody gets to see his last couple of days at 300 miles, leave early. But either way, just it's not even about seeing him. It's about enjoying the camaraderie of the people that support Donald Trump. And with that said, be the change you wish to see. If you want to follow my personal Instagram, that's Anthony Michael Russo. Follow Be the Change USA on Facebook. Thank you guys again. God bless.
Catch you on the next one, brother. I'm going to call you later on.
Later.
All right, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing this. Those of you that did share it, thank you for going over to YouTube. We reached a milestone, man. Literally, we are at 28,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thanks to you guys. So thank you. I just want to tell you guys, man, look, right now, I know the country is like messed up and the media got us thinking that things are horrible and that we are divided and that we're in a racist place and just all kinds of nonsense, man, but that's not true. All right. Now, when you look at me, you know, a lot of you guys that aren't here because you want to support me, you're here because you want to talk crazy. And you're like, why are you voting for Trump? Why are you doing this? You're being paid by Trump to do this. No, I'm not. I'm telling you, I don't get paid by Trump to do anything. I wish I was. I wish I had some Trump money. Okay. True enough. But the reason why I'm voting Trump and why I even looked into the man is because I started paying attention to politics and I care about our country. I care about the people in this country. I got a heart for people. So I'm not voting for Trump. I'm voting for America. All right. That's what we're supposed to do when we go out to these polls. We're supposed to vote for America. What's best for our country? What's best for the people? That's why I'm voting Trump. All right. Now, I can go on and on about all the different things that make him America's best choice, but I'm not. I'm going to leave that up to you guys to do the research because I've already done mine. That's why I switched my vote. That's why I switched my party. All right. That being said, I appreciate you all. Love you guys, haters and supporters alike. I appreciate you for being here with me. And you took your time out your day to come and sit here and watch this. So thank you. I appreciate you guys. I'll be in California on the 30th. Minneapolis to be determined on the date, but it'll be next month in November. And then hopefully Dallas. All right. So thank you guys that's been supporting me. Thank you guys that donate to the GoFundMe or to my PayPal or to my Cash App. It all means a lot. It helps out. It goes a very long way. Thank you guys for utilizing the super chat. And more importantly, thank you guys for your prayers, for supporting me through liking and sharing my videos, because you know I've been being banned and shadow banned and algorithms been thrown off. So that means a lot. All right. Thank you guys. This is how I eat now. You know, this is how I feed my family, is doing this stuff right here. So thank you. I appreciate you guys. And you know what I'm about to say next. Unite, don't fight. Be a street light, because only you can be the change that you want to see in the world. And when you get too stressed out, you got to remember to pray, America. That's what matters. Keep God first. All right. I'm out of here. Cut my outro.